Backup iron sights are not mandatory. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Trench Grenade channel. I am your host, The Average. Backup iron sights are not mandatory in 2025. Video discussion enjoyer that your mom said that we have at home. Thanks for watching. Guys, the purpose of today's video is we are going to be discussing backup iron sights. Now, say it with me because the internet gets confused about this concept. There's iron sights that are fixed iron sights that you use as your primary sighting system, and then there's backup iron sights. So today we're going to be discussing backup iron sights. Now, what you'll notice on the gun I'm showing you is there is no backup sighting system. Now, I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to get into it. Guys, real quick, if you want to support the channel, hit the like button. Comment down below, do you have backup iron sights on your rifle or handgun for that matter? A lot of guys that are running a red dot on a handgun do not run iron sights on the gun because they don't need them, because they have a Loctite on optic that is reliable and durable. But we're going to get into that here in a second. So comment down below, do you run backup iron sights? Again, I have to specify, I'm not talking about fixed irons where you just run only irons. That's not what I'm talking about. So I'm not talking about like this scenario where I would run just irons, because that's how I'm choosing to run this gun. Because a lot of guys with a rifle, like carry handle gang, will freak out when I say backup iron sights are not mandatory. So anyway, comment down below, are you running backup iron sights? Yes or no? And let's get into it. Okay. First point on why backup iron sights are not mandatory. The pros do not use them. Now, everyone's going to freak out and be like, back in my day when I was in the Army, we always used our backup iron sights. Check it out. Yes, we still train in basic training and in some schools on how to zero and qualify with backup iron sights. However, professional units, infantry, paratroopers, mechanized infantry, ranger battalion, whatever, guys do not use iron sights. The Dodik, okay, our Strack, does not even have enough ammunition for us to all qualify on our optic and iron sights. So in the vast majority of infantry units I have ever been in, which is a lot, we do not even shoot iron sights. We only shoot our primary optic system. Now, a ton of guys are freaking out right now. Trench, what are you talking about? This isn't the 90s. This isn't the early 2000s. It's 2025. Optics are reliable. Optics can be mounted properly, and optics last a lot longer and hold zero a lot better. We're going to get into the whole what if my optic goes down discussion here in a second, but just understand the professionals that do this for a living, yes, we train on backup iron sights in basic training and some of our advanced courses. We train on backup iron sights. We make people zero and qualify with them. But in normal operational units, operational environment, we do not use backup iron sights. We do not have backup iron sights on the guns. We have a EOTech, aim point, or ACOG. That's it. EOTech, aim point, or ACOG. Everything else is completely flat with a Surefire, a sling, and that is it. If you're running night vision, PEG 15. That is it. So before anyone gets in the comments and says, well, back in the day, in the 90s, I don't know what optics y'all were using in the 90s or the early 2000s, right? I know the ACOG was around or somewhere in like 2006 or so, but just understand that in modern times, yes, there might be a fixed front sight post on a lot of the M4A1 still if guys aren't running URGIs yet, or the 6 Spear, but just understand that backup iron sights are not required, and the professionals do not use them. Moving on, optic durability. I've already kind of hit that point with the. I've already beat that dead horse, whatever the saying that I'm trying to say is. But modern optics and modern mounting solutions are durable, they are reliable, and they do not require you to have a backup sighting system. The batteries, even on this EOTech, okay, guess what? Every week, change out the battery. Too easy, right? Go on whatever website, Amazon, buy yourself a year worth of freaking 123 batteries, and guess what? Change it out every time you're going to use the gun. change it out again if you're really that paranoid, right? Have extra in the in your pistol grip, or have extra in your range bag, or have extra in your admin pouch. But guess what? For this particular setup, these two, this Optic and this Surefire, take the same battery. So every time I'm going to use this gun for anything professionally, once a month, guess what you do? Boom, you would just change out the batteries in the Surefire, change them out in the EOTech, and guess what? Now you're ready to rock and roll. Obviously, this gun isn't used for anything professionally. It's my bag gun, but boom, I think you guys understand the point. So, optic durability has surpassed the need for backup iron sights. What else? Weight. Unneeded extra weight, unneeded extra bulk. A lot of guys are going to be like, it literally weighs nothing. Okay, but these are the same guys that aren't doing their cardio. These are the same guys that when I go to the range, they can't even group in zero at 25 meters. These are the same guys that haven't rucked 12 miles ever. These are the same guys that are not physically fit. The guys that are so often talking about, oh, it literally weighs nothing, are so often the guys that are fat. Okay, I'm just going to be honest. So don't be that guy. Stop saying it just weighs nothing. It's just not needed, okay? You can do whatever you want, but it's just not needed. All right, we already hit this point. Army and Marines, we don't issue enough ammunition to qualify for every single trooper based on our STRAC, based on our MTO, to qualify and zero with backup iron sights and optic. We only get issued enough to train on the primary optic. Okay, we already beat that dead horse. Battery life, we already hit that. Change your batteries, be an adult. It's part of being an adult, okay? Last thing. Guys talk about this all the time in FUD lore. Well, what if my optic gets shot? Really? If your optic gets shot, there's so much to unpack here. But if this is part of your thought process, that what if my optic gets shot? Well, I got news. You have a handgun for a reason, okay? That's why it's, you have a assigned handgun, an assigned backup gun for a reason. Your lifeline, that's why you have this thing. So handguns, boom. That is what happens if your optic gets shot. Additionally, if your optic gets shot and you're holding the weapon, what is the percentage that you are shot? Very high. Also, if your optic is shot, is your weapon even going to be operable anymore? Is the bolt carrier group, because with an AR style weapon, if it gets shot anywhere up here, the bolt carrier group can't even work anymore. If a round hits back here, this gun is rendered inoperable. So this whole fallacy of what if my optic gets shot is all FUD lore, okay? Also, again, that is why you have your lifeline, okay? So, backup iron sights. They're not required in 2025. They may have been required. They were required when I first joined the Army 13 years ago. But guess what? Things have changed. Optics are more reliable. We're better trained. We're better in the know. The FUD lore has gone out the window. So just understand, if you're out here building your first rifle, excuse me, you don't need backup iron sights. Just choose a good optic and you'll be good to go, okay? The joke kind of in the know is my backup iron sights are really the backup optic, because guys fixate so much on the iron, having to have backup iron sights, that we just say, oh, the backup optic, right? So don't get so fixated on the need to have a set of iron sights on the gun. It's just not needed. And if you're going to get iron sights on the gun, like backup iron sights, make sure there's some quality ones, right? Some sort of fixed front sight post, metal. I don't like the cheapo MBUS, trashy iron sights. I recommend, if you're going to get something good, or backup for your life, because if you're in the comments right now like, well, bro says you don't even need them, but then you go out and buy some cheapo MBUS Magpul backup iron sights, you're literally validating what I'm saying, that they're unneeded because you're buying cheapo ones, okay? Anyway, that's a lot of talking. I'm going to get you guys out of here. So Backup iron sights, not required in 2025. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, comment down below your thoughts. And until next time, it's going to be Trench Grenade, your average backup iron sights are not required in 2025 video enjoyer that your mom said that we have at home, signing out. Cheers.